for me, I was raised Lutheran, and in the process of my Lutheran background, I remember in catechism class when I was 13 years old, the pastor was talking about the Ten Commandments, and I'd say, "Well, what day is the Sabbath on according to the Ten Commandments?" "Well, Saturday." "Then how can we go to church on Sunday?" "I'll explain to you later." The explanation never came. So and then, of course, even as a Christian, when I became a believer, I was always told by the pastors and the church that God changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday because Jesus was resurrected on Sunday, because the early church met on Sunday, and which none of those things are true. Now, he did resurrect on Sunday, but it was actually a Shabbaton, a holy high day called Habikurim, or first fruits, that the resurrection occurred on. But he was crucified on a Friday, resurrected, well, not Friday, probably Wednesday, actually, resurrected on Sunday, Habikurim, first fruits. So, and then we see the Apostle Paul. We see Jesus himself observe the Sabbath. He observed the Sabbath by going to the synagogue every Shabbat, as was his custom. So, lots of interesting things to think about. Then we see in the book of Acts, the early church met on Saturday. Of course, they met 7 days a week at some point. Then we see that Paul continued to go to synagogues on the Sabbath. In the book of Acts, we see that recorded, I think, almost 58 times, where Paul went to the synagogue on the Sabbath. The Sabbath was never done away with. It wasn't until after Constantine and the Council of Nicaea that the Sabbath, through the Council of Laodicea, which wasn't a worldwide council, it was just a regional council, the Council of Laodicea, look it up, had made it illegal for Christians to observe the Sabbath rest. It could be punishable by law, and you'd be called a Judaizer if you observed the Sabbath on Saturday. So bizarre, strange things happen. And then throughout the course of church history, that was reinforced and separating the Jewish worldview from the Hebraic worldview, or the Hebraic worldview from the Greco-Roman Western worldview.